Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and I want to send salutations to all the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, exalting the name of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is going to be a quick lesson on how the Lord is only for Israel. All right, Israelites only. All right. Truthfully, when you're doing this, man, when you're dealing with a Christian, it doesn't even matter who the Israelites are. It doesn't even matter who Esau Edom is. The only thing you need to prove is that the Lord is not allowing salvation for everyone. It don't even matter who. We know who Israel is. We know who Esau is. All right. We know this. We can prove that. But it doesn't really matter when it comes to proving who salvation is for. All right. You can just prove with the Bible that the Lord is only for Israel and that His doctrine is only for Israel. Salvation is only for Israel, and that He hates and will not allow another nation to have a chance for salvation, to repent or anything. The only thing that matters, you prove that, it kills their whole belief system and everything. The Gentile, nor Gentile or Jew or Greek or whatever, we know who those Greeks and those Gentiles are. They're Israelites who took on the customs of the Greeks, of the Romans. Same thing with the Babylonians, the Assyrians. You know what I mean? Wherever Israel dwells in a land that's not theirs, they take on the customs of those people. And those people have their gods. They have all their idolatry. They have their customs of food, of language, of traditions. You know what I mean? Like even today is Halloween. A tradition of the world that many different countries celebrate, just like Christmas, just like Easter, which is really supposed to be the Passover, etc., etc. These pagan holidays and things of that nature. So our people take on the customs of these other nations. All right. But salvation has always been for the Jews, the Israelites, all right, as a whole, all 12 tribes, all right. It's just been that way. It's always going to be that way, all right. In Revelation 7th chapter, it mentions Israelites being the elect, the chosen, all right. They mention every nation. It does say in that chapter, out of many nations, different nations, tongues, and saying et cetera, et cetera. But when you look up the word nations, it talks about from the tribe of Israel. And that's a major cut on y'all, because y'all say, well, it does say in the same chapter tribes and nations and different tongues. Yeah, but all from the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. As a matter of fact, I'll go to that right now, because Spirit, I wasn't even gonna go to that, but let's go to it. It says Revelations 7 and 9. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man can number, of all the nations and kindreds and people, tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes, with palms in his hands, which is basically significance of victory. All right. And then that lamb in clothed in white robes is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. And when you look at the nations, it says, no man could number of all nations and kindreds and people. All right. So all the nations You look at the word nations. Say ethnos. All right. So all the nations. All right. Say a multitude, whether man or beast, associated, or living thing, a company, troop, swarm, multitude, individuals of the same nature, genus, human family, a tribe, nation, all right, people, groups, all right. Paul used the term Gentile Christians, foreign nations not worshiping the true God. So, but guess what? All our people, they were scattered. Um, Real quick, hold on. Let me see. It's in Acts, the second chapter. Exactly. I think it's Acts 2 and 6. Let's grab it real quick. Yeah. It was 5. In Acts 2 and 5, it says, "And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now, when this was noise abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because every man heard them speak in their own language." Why? Because you had Jews. It says right here, Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. All right. So you got Jews, what? That were scattered all over, that were scattered abroad, right? Coming out of every nation, meaning different regions, different countries, all right? And they had different languages, all right? And then when you read on this chapter, they were blessed to be able to understand every language, because the Lord put that spirit on them, all right? I'll just read it. It says, "And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? Galileans?" It says, "And how hear we every man in our own tongue within we were born?" All right, and then it goes into specific lands where they were from, where they came from, right, and they were able to understand. All right, I'll go to verse 12. It says, and they were all amazed and were in doubt, saying one to another, What meaning this? Others mocked, said, These men full of wine, new wine. But Peter, standing with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them, Ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you, that hearken unto my words. For these are not drunken, as ye suppose, saying, It is but the third hour of the day. But this is that which we spoketh but the prophet Joel. All right. So with that being said, they understood what was going on. All right. With every man who speaketh in different languages. All right. And just to go to that real quick, that Joel 2 and 28. It says, It shall come to pass afterwards, I will pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. All right, and that's what happened. All right, because they were all come together. All right, for the Pentecost, to keep, because they were all keeping the law. So they all knew each other, all right? They all knew each other's language, because the Lord poured the Spirit out on them. So they came out of different nations, all right? So they came out that it says right here back at Revelation 9, 7 and 9, After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, out of all the nations, so out of all the nations and kindreds, right? You look up kindreds, it's Phule, a tribe. In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob, a nation people. So all those people that came out of these different nations, those kindreds were Israelites. And it says, and people, look up people. It says, Laos, a people group, tribe, nation, all those who are of the same stock and language, of a great part of population gathered together anywhere. So these are all the same people. All right. This is all talking about Israelites. All right. And you can't get around that. All right. Because at one point we all came together as a nation for Pentecost. All right. And the Lord poured the Spirit out on them in the book of Acts to understand each other, because they came from different languages. They were what you would call aliens, all right, or foreigners. All right. They were Israelite foreigners. All right. But they knew who they were. All right. So they came together. They were able to understand each other. All right. Joel 2:27, it says, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. All right. So Israel's never going to be ashamed. Why? Because God is only for them and for them. All right. So it says the family that the Lord only knew was Israel. Check this out. 1 Corinthians 10:1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea. And who was that? Who these Corinthians that this letter was written to by Paul? Who are the people that of our fathers that were under the cloud that passed through the sea? What is that? The sea with Moses. Who were they? They were Israelites. So this letter was to the Corinthians, but the Corinthians are Israelites. Why? Because they were out of a different nation. They were from a different land. They were in Corinth, Greece. But guess what? They're Israelites. And he's putting them in remembrance with these letters. That's what that's all about. All right? It's very simple. Simple to the wise. So with that, all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.